it's time to learn how to multiply by 2's. All right, you've heard me say it time and time again, and I want to do it again the same way I do it every time. All right, when it comes down to multiplication and multiplying, the grouping of numbers, the repeated addition, never, ever, ever try to just get your child to memorize. All right, don't do it. Memorization is not going to help here. What your child needs to understand are strategies in order to make multiplying numbers a lot easier. They don't want to memorize it because memorizing, you can create a memory or use rote memorization, and it's only going to get you so far. What you want to do is understand what you're doing, understand concepts and procedures. You don't want to simply memorize. All right. So now that I got that out of the way, multiplying by 2's, it's skip counting at its finest. It's understanding evens from odds. It's enjoying what you do all the time, I guess. I don't know. But multiplying by 2's is not problematic. You want to make sure your child is really understanding this process. Multiplying by 2's and multiplying by 5's are really generally important because everything else kind of bases themselves off of it. And I'll show you how. So right now you see multiplying by 2's, as you already know. When you're teaching this to your child, you want to make sure they understand that these numbers are being grouped. All right. Sometimes they'll see problems such as 2 times 4, and I see this all the time in misconception. They're so focused on addition that they'll go 2 times 4 equals 6, not thinking that they're taking two groups of something to give you another number. All right, so make sure they understand that process of grouping numbers. So what does that mean? As you are aware, 2 groups of 4 is 8 because 2 times 4 is 8. And if someone asked you how you learn that, you might say you memorize, or you might 2, 4, 6, 8. However your strategy is, the strategies that we're using to teach children now are very conceptual. So if I have 2 groups of dogs, all right, I guess I could use 2 groups of dogs and find out how many legs they have each, right? So I have, and I'm going to, bear with me, I'm going to draw. Woo! That's 1 dog. And I have my 2 groups of dogs. Now, 2 groups of 4, right? Each dog has 4 legs, and I have 2 of them. So if you count, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Yay! So I have my 2 groups of 4, so 2 times 4 equals 8. Or I could also do 4 groups of 2. Now, I could do a stick man, bear with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I could count their legs. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and again 4 groups of 2 equals 8. All right, so that's a way of showing the 2 groups of 4, 4 groups of 2, 2 groups of anything. As always, I'll get there, doubling the number. Now, what you want your child to remember is anytime they're multiplying a number times 2, the answer is even. Even. Now, what does that mean? It means that it is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or it has 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8 in the ones place. And that shows that that number is even. It can be multiplied by 2, or it could be another number could be multiplied to get that number. All right, so again, what your child needs to focus on are the multiples of 2, or multiples between 2 and 9. 0 and 9. You have 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. All right, those are most important here because that's from 0 to 9, and if you multiply any of those numbers times 2, you'll get those numbers. And then numbers, as you know, are repeating, right? So a way I teach my students a strategy, one strategy, if they're getting the grouping and they understand repeat addition, then you can teach them different type of strategies. As you see, the hands are usually a great strategy to use when multiplying by 2's, because they can count by 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, right? So they have 20 right there, especially if they're good at counting by 2. So allow them to count on their fingers early on, and then sooner or later they'll move from it as they learn strategies further to help them solve these problems a little easier. Now, when you're looking, as I said earlier, any number times 2 is always double the number. So make sure your child understands that when the word double is used, it means to multiply by 2. A lot of the times you'll hear teachers saying double this, double that. What is double of something? And your child needs to understand that when they're asking them that question, they're really asking, what is that times 2? So in this case, if I see 2 times 3, again, I can count on my fingers 2, 4, 6 to come up with a product, or I can think of it as 3, what is 3 plus 3? Because a lot of your children, if they're at multiplication, they kind of got a hang of the addition process. So they can just learn, they can just go ahead and continue that process of adding numbers. So 2 times 3, 2, 4, 6, or 3 plus 3, 3, and then I add 3 more, and it's 6 again. That's how you get the product. Or you can set up your 2 groups of 3, and again you see that all 3 ways you'll get the answer 6. Now 2 groups of 5, again you could go with the fingers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and I have my 10. You could also go with your 2 groups of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's also 10. If you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can do your arrays, or again, you can add 5 plus 5. What's 5 plus 5? Your children will 10. They'll know that one extremely fast. All right. Then you have 6 times 2, 6 groups of 2, or 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Or you can say 6 plus 6. And no matter how you slice it, that pie will be 12. All right. Again, thank you for joining me on my learning block. Keep learning with me, and I'll see you soon.